everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Today's matchup features two teams eager to come away with a late season win. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Falcons.
Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down. They go to Johnson again. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
To throw is Winston. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice,
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is level. Knocked down hard at the 23. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And caught, right side, Green. There goes Green. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there. Really
good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use it.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. can say they have it. They do.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. D. Ford able to drop him for a loss of 4. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Tampa Bay trots out there now as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
That one goes for 13 yards and
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick. What works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On second down, Johnson. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And from down in Miami, an update. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz.
Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Second down, Winston. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are all there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
So out come the Falcons now. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Green with a catch left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 29 yards that time. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Looking to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. 1:59 to go in the first half. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is, for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. He'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a second down throw for Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding Green complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Back to throw. They find some open field here. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We've got some football to get to. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see it, as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile a division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year, and stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South, so look out.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2.
Gun! Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Forced out to his left. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Again, it's Johnson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
is because just about any offense have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now the ball comes loose, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 43 yards.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And this is a blowout so far. The Bucs on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Jameis to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll... Get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
Here we go. Detroit. Watch it now, Marty. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt. 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, it's Martin. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So out come the Bucs now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
From the red zone now, Winston. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
It's in the fourth quarter down in Miami. The Bills have taken the lead in what's been a wide-open affair. Deshaun Watson, over 300 yards now and also 3 touchdown passes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.